Let's examine the exact passages used to prove a rapture. Matthew 24, Thessalonians, Revelation, and John, and read them in full context, without inserting assumptions into the text. We will not interpret verses in isolation. We will follow immediate context, parallel passages, and original language, because Scripture establishes its own definitions when read carefully. This passage is often used to claim that believers are taken in a rapture while others are left behind, based on the phrase, one taken and one left. But Yeshua does not introduce this idea suddenly. He anchors it directly in a comparison that controls the meaning of the entire passage. He says, as it was in the days of Noah, the flood came and took them all away. This is the interpretive key for what follows. In Noah's time, the ones who were taken were not rescued. They were removed in judgment by the flood. The ones left were the righteous who remained alive. That means the pattern must remain consistent unless the text indicates a change, and it does not. So when he says one taken, one left, the consistent reading is that the taken are removed in judgment, while the ones left are preserved. In Luke's parallel account, the disciples ask, "Where are they taken?" Yeshua answers, "Where the body is, the vultures gather." That imagery refers to death and judgment, not salvation. This confirms that taken in this context is associated with destruction, not deliverance. Matthew 24 does not describe believers being removed to safety. It describes a separation where the wicked are removed and the righteous remain. Next, 1 Thessalonians 4 is used to support a rapture because it says believers are caught up to meet the Lord in the air. The Greek word harpazo means to seize or catch up, but it does not define where someone goes or whether they remain there. The defining term in this passage is to meet, Greek apantēsis, which has a specific cultural meaning in the first century world. It describes going out to meet an arriving king or dignitary, and then escorting him back to the place he is coming to. In Matthew 25 and Acts 28, the same word is used. People go out to meet, and then return with the one who is arriving. The passage says, "He descends, the dead rise, the living are caught up, and together they meet him as he arrives." This is not a departure from earth. It is a reception of a returning king, consistent with how apantēsis is always used. This passage speaks of our gathering to him, which is often equated with a rapture event occurring before tribulation. But Paul immediately sets a condition. That day will not come unless specific events happen first. He names two events, the rebellion and the revealing of the man of lawlessness, before the gathering can take place. If those events have not occurred, then the gathering cannot happen. This establishes a fixed sequence within the text. This directly contradicts the idea of a pre-tribulation removal, because the gathering is explicitly placed after identifiable events. This verse is used to claim believers will be removed before tribulation because it says they will be kept from the hour of trial. The phrase tēreō means to keep, guard, or preserve, not necessarily to remove from a location. In John 17:15, the same phrase is used, "Keep them from the evil one," but explicitly says they are not taken out of the world. So the phrase means protection within a situation, not removal from it. Scripture defines its own terminology here. Revelation 3:10 promises preservation through trial, not escape before it begins. This passage is used to say believers will be taken to heaven because Yeshua says he will receive you to myself. But the central statement is, "I will come again." The movement in the passage is his return, not their departure. Throughout Scripture, the kingdom is established on earth, not abandoned. This must remain consistent across interpretation. This passage describes reunion with the returning Messiah, not permanent removal from the earth. When read in context, every so-called rapture passage describes the same sequence: return, resurrection, gathering, and judgment. The rapture interpretation requires inserting meanings into the text that the passages themselves do not establish. You can follow the assumptions or follow the text as it defines itself, but the two lead to very different conclusions.